Welcome to welcome to a Legend Talks. I am the legendary Michael Bowie.
And I am the legendary Emmanuel Pierce.
Are you legendary though? Are you?
I'm as legendary as it gets, sir. As legendary as it gets.
It's very questionable.
I don't think it's questionable.
I would not put
legendary
in front of your name, but
I'm as legendary as it gets.
Well, here we are. We are 2 episodes left. 2 people left to talk about here. And so the first book. I don't want to call this a season. We'll just say the first book. Then we're going to take a little bit of break, and then we're going to come back to the next. It's not a season. The next book, which is A Legend Continues, which is also available on Amazon.
So excited to go ahead and get to talking about another book. So excited.
I might have to read that. Honestly, I wrote it, but I don't really remember anything that happens in book 2. We're being honest. I remember some things, but not a lot. So I might have to reread that. That's why we're taking a break, really. Let's just be honest. It's for me to reread my book and what I wrote so I know what's going on. But we are talking about A Legend Story, the first book, the remaster that's available on Amazon. Go copy your copy. It is going down. I also did an interview here on Facebook with TC Readers Lounge, and it went well. I mean, she read the book. She loved it for Dr. Thomas, the host of the show, so much so where she wants me back. She wants me to do a whole bunch of other things, and I'm excited to go back and kind of talk about it and engage the audience and those that are interested in hearing what this book is about, because it's something that you instantaneously fall in love with. Inside those first 6 pages is just something that is a page turner that you just can't stop reading. So go copy a copy of this book. Like I said, Amazon for the remaster, and pretty much 35,000 plus other retailers for the second and third book. Get you the second book now. Read it now so that you're all caught up. I don't know how long we're going to be gone from A Legend Talks, but when we come back, we're coming back with a new look. We're coming back with a new feel. We're coming back with new stuff, a new book.
And y'all already know, hey, some things may be new, but Reporter E don't change.
Okay. Reporter E's not a real thing. Don't point at the camera, okay?
Reporter E don't change.
Don't point at the camera or the people, because it's not a real thing. And don't point at yourself with you pointing at. I can do that too, okay? We're not. Please don't. Would you stop doing what I look? You know what? This is getting a little ridiculous. Don't have the people come to you. They're coming to me.
No, they're not.
They are. But here on A Legend Talks, we ask some of the great questions that need to be asked. We do some of the great things that need to be done so that you guys can get a clear perspective from the author and from someone that's read the book. So we're about to jump right into the questions that you have. Manny, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. So let's hear some of the questions that you have for me about this new character to everybody else that we really haven't talked about, Adrianna Hart. What are you looking for? I don't know why you're singing music. With the fucking I don't understand why this is not a real. There's only 2 episodes left, so this thing will be gone in 2 episodes. Just cover your face with this. This is stupid. It's not a real thing.
Welcome back to E News, folks. Coming live to your reporter E, checking in right here, asking the questions that you want the answers to. And today we have with us writer, author, producer, playwright, DJ, comedian, actor, director, resident jackass, Michael Bowie.
Nope, not that.
Michael Bowie. How are you doing today, sir? Welcome to E News.
Well, I don't know what that is because it's not a real thing, so I don't know what that is. So
you've been interviewed on E News multiple times now.
I have not been on E News.
Anywho, welcome to E News, sir. We want to ask you the questions that the people want the answers to. It's what I'm here for during the interview portion of E.
I really don't know why you're here for being honest.
So, question number 1. We're talking about Adrianna Hart. I feel like even though she's not what you would consider a main character, her position in this book is kind of necessary. It's kind of like a narrator, kind of like a giver, if you will, someone who can extrapolate lessons from things that are happening in the book. Was Adrianna Hart always in your plans when you first wrote this book, or is this something that just came about as an idea? You were just kind of like, oh, I need something here to add in.
It's a different, I haven't ever gotten a question like this, but I have answers for it. To say that she's always been a character. What people probably don't know is that this book was actually a film before it was a book. I shot an independent version of it, and so she was a character in it as small as anything. She wasn't as big inside of the movie as she is inside the book. She just had a small part to kind of report, and I was like, well, she's kind of reporting what's going on in this one situation. Why not, if we're not able to expunge upon all the different things going on around the world or in the world, that we have that voice that can be talking about it, but also somebody that's spreading messages. That way this book isn't just violence and vulgarity. And so I think she grew to be what she is now. Number one, she is, like you said, almost in some aspects the narrator. But the other ideal is that I wanted this to be something unique of a book. Every book is almost the same, but as a writer, if you can find a way to change that and make that different, which there was somebody, I don't know who the author is. Anybody that reads a lot of books can probably put inside the comments and let me know, but there was an author who made their last chapter one word. I want to say it was maybe Stephen King, but I'm not positive. So if you notice in this book, she is the last chapter and she has one sentence. So I was like, I don't want to completely steal that concept, but when that idea came up for her to be just the last sentence and have that be something that's unique, I said, well, what if she's like every by chapter saying something, and she's saying a lot, but not enough to where it's a full chapter, and then it gets to the end, and then she's just one sentence. Like, that was what I felt would make my book unique, no different than somebody, whoever the author was, that decided to make one chapter, one word at the end. So that's kind of how she grew and how that book evolved to become what it was.
Yeah, how important do you think that the book would be the same if she wasn't involved as much?
No. No. I mean, you are somebody that has read it. If you take out all of the Adrianna Hart by chapters, it's really just an action book. It would still be somewhat good, but would you really gain that knowledge? As somebody told me that read the book, a friend of mine, she said that it's like Adrianna Hart's by chapters are almost like a point to calm you down from all the craziness that happened in the chapter before.
Right.
To bring you back to some type of normality, she was there. And so I could see that. And that kind of makes me not want to lose that momentum. She's inside of, the by chapters within book 1, 2, and 3, volume 1, 2, and 3. And if there is a prequel book, that same kind of concept will probably be there as well. Maybe, I don't know. And if there's other books, I don't know if that would be there, but I think that within the 3 that are currently out and published, available on Amazon and 35,000 plus other retailers, I think that's something that is unique and that helps with the people that are reading the book.
Okay. So our final question for you today.
Thank God on this fake segment.
No, it's not fake. It's real. We're just asking the questions that people want to know, sir. This is why you're a resident jackass. Anywho, yes, you are. Anywho, sir.
I got you, sir to you.
Don't interrupt me, sir. Don't interrupt me. Final question to you. Was there ever a thought, because again, as we've said 30,000 times, this book was only meant to be a one-off. Was there ever a thought to have her more involved in the story? Maybe join the resistance or have her closer to Dominic as a reporter? Because, reporters talk to the president, different things like that. Was there ever a thought in having her more ingrained? Most of the book, she kind of feels separated from all the stuff that's going on, even though she's reporting from the ground. It's just kind of, and I'll give you props to this, it's just kind of like the news. They can be reporting from the ground, but they kind of it feels like it's something separate that's going on.
Oh, was that the end?
Yeah, can you answer the question?
Was she always intended to be where she was, or was she meant to be like a bigger character, or why I did not?
No, did you ever have any thoughts or ideas of maybe intertwining her more in the story, as in like interacting with other characters?
I think that every character played their role, and that was her role. So to give her a different role, no, she was always meant to be what she was. Now her character evolved throughout the other two books. You learn more about her. She becomes a little bit more entwined inside of the actual story, but that's something that just grew to be so that I can connect all the dots and bring it to a closing.
Sounds good. Well, we want to thank you, Michael Bowie, writer, director, comedian, actor, producer, resident jackass, for being on our show here on E-News. Folks, we got one more episode of E-News coming up, and then we will take the break, but don't you worry, Reporter E will be back. We want to thank you so much. This has been Reporter E, signing off.
Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Excuse me. Are you done? Are you done?
And now I'm done.
Okay. Well, no.
Oh, you got a hat now, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a new segment, and here we go. Well, we will fix that because it was cropped off a little bit. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to go, maybe I'll put some fireworks inside the back. Welcome to Reporter B News, babies. It's about to go down. Yep. Yes, we are about to take some notes and we are about to do it up big. Yes, that is right. We are here to ask the questions that need to be asked with the people that want to know the answers that need to be answered. Yes, I am Reporter B, and we are talking about a legend story with Adrianna Hart.
Do y'all see how he just ripped? Does anybody just see how he just ripped me off?
We have Manny Pierce, who is a contract lawyer. He is the host of Manny's Power Hour. He is the host of let's see. There's Manny's Power Hour. What's the other one?
Filmatic, a legend story.
Football
coach.
I don't even remember you on Filmatic. Yes. He's also been inside of a season of The Story Of. Go back and check that out. He is also just somebody that helps and with this channel and helps to grow. Resident jackass. And here we go. Adrianna Hart.
You are worse than Carlos Mencia. You literally stole my whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is what the people want. They've been writing in this entire time.
Okay.
And this is what they want. But here we are.
Okay, Reporter B, come on.
So, I want to read an excerpt from this book from Adrianna Hart, because she is somebody that, like I said, she's the voice of the voiceless. She's somebody that's that narrator. She has a lot to say. Now, granted, this might take a while because I'm thinking I might read the whole thing.
Okay.
This is chapter 10. The name of the chapter is called The Fucking Hatred Within. That's right, people. You heard it right from Reporter B. The Fucking Hatred Within. This chapter says, I know what most of you are thinking. While tuning into this broadcast, you see all the bad stuff happening in the world, and one question keeps pounding over and over in your head. You see others forking up hatred and think that you yourself are not a contributor to it all. This becomes difficult because you have to find a way to separate them from you to answer the daunting question. Sometimes with this kind of evaluation, one realizes that they themselves are also part of the problem. The question is, and this is important, what is hate? I can't stand people of color. Everything about them just bothers me. Black people are out here destroying the environment and bringing down neighborhoods, while immigrants are illegally coming into the United States and taking up our jobs, not paying taxes and fair dues like the rest of us. These people cheat the system while I work hard every day to make ends meet. They are loud, violent, and unruly people that don't make me or my family feel safe. Come to think about it, I can't stand others with differing religions outside my own. These people really get under my skin, and when they preach to me about the God or gods of theirs, I don't care about also about the rules to their religion. Who are they to say that they don't know that they know the truth about God? How many there are and what color of skin he or she had? I also don't understand them covering up their face, praying on rugs, or not eating certain types of food. Don't get me started on those Democrats. They're a bunch of soft-ass snowflakes. They want to take away many of our rights to help make it better for those to continue cheating the system. Bunch of fucking dumbass liberals. Or what about those Republicans? All they do is lie and steal, so the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. They are the main reasons why wars are started. They don't like people that aren't like them, people that are rich and wealthy and well-off individuals. Bunch of fucking dumbass conservatives. It is not a hard concept to understand. One man for one woman. All of these people walking around as a man that in turn wants to be a woman, or a woman trying to become a man. What about people that can't decide what they want to be? You were born one way. Just be yourself. And by that, I mean the gender you were born as. These aren't my words. They are yours. They aren't my beliefs. They are yours. If you have said anything similar to these comments, then you are part of the problem and not the solution. Do you think it is hard to answer my previous question? You don't know how to determine if someone applies to the said quality. You don't have to look any further for that answer. The comments, the point of views, the beliefs, and anything that resembles it, that is hate. Now, the reason why I love this is because so many people put so much hate out there, constantly downing people. Oh, you're a Democrat or a Republican, instead of a human being. Oh, you believe that a God. What about what your beliefs are? You have separate ones, but I don't judge you on that. There's just so much hate and ignorance and stupidity when it comes to people in the world putting down other people about religion, politics, skin color, sexual orientation. It's stupid, it's ignorant, and that is the level of hate I feel the world deals with. And she's kind of portraying everybody in the world that does that and saying that that is hate. So after reading that excerpt, I want to, as reporter B, find out what your thoughts are. What do you think about that? What do you think about...
You know what I hate, reporter B?
Yeah. Thank you for using my name. Go ahead.
A knockoff. I hate a knockoff. I hate unoriginal. I hate... No. I didn't interrupt you. I let you, go on your long-winded excerpt. I let you, the reporter B, and your intro, and all that stuff. So you should learn from reporter E, not to capture.
However, reporter B does his stuff is different. How this fake reporter E does his stuff, and right now, this is how I do my segment. Get used to it. All right, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I hate a knockoff. Unoriginality, I don't like that either. Hate sequels because they're not better than the original. Yeah, speaking about hate, growing up, my mother used to always say hate was a strong word. Whenever I would say I hate something, she would say, no, you don't. And I guess that was kind of her way of trying to keep that spitefulness and that hate out of me. Disliking some things, and people don't like everything, and they don't like everybody, and that's not something I think that Adrianna is going for here. But I do think that we can move past our dislikes to become a better society, better human beings, and stuff like that. But just like love is a strong emotion, hatred and spite is a very strong emotion. gonna quote the Bible here. Don't mean to offend anybody. Jealousy and anger are really bad, really bad things. And so is hate. When you get that hate and that anger build up in you, it's really hard for you to be rational about anything and see a person or a thing in a certain way. And I feel like because of the society that we're in, it's easier to do that with social media and just being able to kind of separate yourself and just be on the side that you're on or whatever. I think we've cultivated a world in which hate is more easily allowed to ferment because you don't have to put your name on things that you say to people that are not nice anymore. I agree with Adrianna's message. I do think it's something that we should work on. The problem is that it's going to be a challenge, especially, her world is a little different than ours. In our world today, I think it's a huge challenge, especially with social media and the internet.
So what do you think in terms of people that deliver this hate, that do this, that say things like liberals or conservatives, Democrats or Republicans, black or white versus human, person, friend, family?
They're doing more damage to themselves than they are to the other person or the other idea. Everything is not linear in life. Everything is not, no pun intended, black and white. There are shades of gray everywhere. And as a lawyer, and especially when you go to law school, that is something you come to accept the facts of. How you feel about stuff doesn't always dictate how things go, number one. And number two, there's a lot of gray area. And if you don't open yourself up to the other side of an argument or another way of thinking, do you truly ever expand who you are? We don't all know about everything. So if I say, I hate liberals or I hate Republicans or I hate this or I hate that, you don't take the time to understand it. A lot of people can't even give a reason why they don't like it. They'll point to one specific thing that they don't truly even know too much about. You can make an informed opinion if you open your mind to receive more information. Here's
my problem, not to cut you off, but looking at it from a political perspective, because this book is a political based book, is when somebody says, "Oh, I hate those fucking Democrats. They're so stupid. Look at what they're doing right now." And to me, it's like, okay, if I was a Democrat, that means you hate me, but we're friends? Or no, because I don't work in government, you only hate the people that are government that are Democrats, when they could be just as kind and could be your friend like I would be, or vice versa with Republicans.
Well, one, politicians are not your friends. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
It doesn't matter if that's the way you to be the friend, but what I'm saying is, could they be somebody that could be, are they not somebody's friend out there when they're not at work? Are they somebody's mother, father, cousin, auntie, brother, sister, cousin, nephew, whatever?
They are. They are.
That somebody else loves and judges them by that person and not what they do as a job. You could work at fucking McDonald's and just be a shitty fucking drive-through window taker.
I think a part of it is
outside of doing that job.
And this is what I mean by it's not black and white. A part of it is, if somebody is constantly doing something to bring down society, that is a bad person. Regardless of the people that love them, I'm sure they have people that love them. But to the majority of people, they're going to be seen as a bad person because you're actively going out to do things that hurt other people. And that's why I say it's not black and white. Just hating somebody because they're just a Democrat is not okay.
But
because you may agree.
That's the whole point of this excerpt and why I read all of it, because it's not just that political thing to hate somebody just on their politics, if they're Democrat or Republican. The hate expands to, now I hate you because you're black and I think that you're doing this, or because you're Mexican because you're doing this. I hate you because you're a man that wants to be a woman. I hate you because of your religious beliefs. That hate, and I only cover 4 of these. I'm pretty sure there's 1,000 fucking things that people just hate other people for that is just stupid to me.
Yeah, well, again, stuff like that, when you're on a simpler level, yeah, you know, and that's what I was talking about opening horizons and just learning more about it. Not to say that you have to agree. See, here's the thing, I want to make a distinction about it. You don't have to agree with everybody. There's no way. There are over 7 billion people on this planet. There's no way that you're ever going to agree with every single one of them. It's impossible. You don't have to agree with
or not, though. The fact is, be kind, and I meant to wear my.
Yeah, well, see. Listen, Reporter B, if you stop cutting me off, I'll get to
Reporter B does what the fuck Reporter B wants to do on Reporter B's fucking
terrible journalism,
so,
by the way.
Until this this party hat, until this comes off, then I do what the fuck I want to do. Take notes on that.
You don't have to agree with everybody, but you do need to respect and show kindness to everyone. Just because I disagree with Michael doing his Reporter B segment doesn't mean I'm not going to be kind to him after this.
It's a real thing. And the people, I mean, I can't even tell you the influx of emails and text and phone calls.
So,
Excuse me, you're interrupting me on my segment. It's something that I think the people just have always wanted. And that's the love. The love that they gave me wanting this to be a thing is the love that the people in the world need to share, and it's not there. So, moving into our next question here on Reporter B News. What are your thoughts on Adrianna Hart? What are your first initial thoughts? Like, what did you see her as, and she's that opener in that by chapter? Because, you know, when you're reading the book, when you read the book, you didn't know that she was going to be the by chapters. You learned that after you got a couple in. You're like, oh, this is kind of becoming a thing. So what was your initial thoughts on Adrianna Hart as a reporter, as a person, as a character? And then when you finished the book, how did that change? Did that change?
It didn't change. My thoughts were, when I got to the first couple of by chapters, I go, oh, this is the narrator, the person that's providing the wisdom. And that was my thoughts about her the entire time. This is the narrator that is extrapolating the wisdom and the messages we need to learn from them. And I don't think my thoughts about her changed. I think she is a person in the book that will challenge your thinking about many different topics. She's a person much like a real reporter, like Reporter E, that asks you.
Reporter B?
Reporter E. Reporter E. Ask you. Reporter E. Ask you. Reporter E. Ask you the question. Ask you the questions that need to be asked and put you in deep reflective thought. So, love her as a character. She serves her purpose. She does a great job, unlike Reporter B.
Unlike Reporter E. Okay, gotcha. So,
Reporter B.
Where, looking at her and the wisdom that she's shared throughout this entire book, is there anything that you can think of that stands out to you? Something that you were like, you know what, this is true. Outside of the excerpt that I've read, is there anything that she has said or talked about, a certain topic that she has touched on, whether it's a specific thing in general, a specific topic that she's touched on that meant a lot to you? And if so, why?
Not that I can remember off the top of my head. I will say, when I was reading this book, there were a lot of profound things that grabbed me, but it's been over a year, I want to say 6 months, something like that, since I read the latest edition of this book.
New edition coming soon.
Yeah.
not the group, Candy Girl.
Yeah, so not that I can remember off the top of my head, but I will say, when I read it, and I've read the book twice now, original, new edition, new edition, probably I'll read that too. Yeah, every time I think there's something profound there, something to challenge the people. I guess one thing that I can kind of think of that's kind of vaguely in my mind is, everybody is there's a point in the book where everybody's kind of blaming each other for the situation and how things are. And she does, just like similar to the excerpt you read, she does another kind of look in the mirror. kind of thing. You know, you don't have to do what you're doing. You're choosing to do it. You're making a choice, which I think is your whole purpose for this book. We make a lot of choices in life, and we have to accept the choices we make and not blame others. So that is what I will say. You're supposed to be writing while I'm talking.
I am, and I just finished up. That's good stuff for Reporter B. I just want to thank everybody for tuning into this glorious new segment, Reporter B News. I can't thank you guys enough. Like I said, the love is just ridiculous how much you guys have wanted this and how I am now being the guy to deliver it to you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Do all that jazz. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about. Excuse me.
Did it.
Okay, I don't know what you're doing. We're ending the segment, so I'm gonna hit the credits here in a second. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Do all that jazz. And as always, I am the legendary Michael B, aka Reporter B.
And I am the real, the one and only, never duplicated. You can't copy, respect.
We're about to go to credits.
Reporter E, the legendary Emmanuel Pierce.
And this has been a Legend Talks.
Talks.